Hey guys, come ride with me for what we're calling a road trip review over at TFL Off-Road. I do these trail guides. Now I'm applying that same concept to a road trip review. And today I've got a very special vehicle. I mean, very special. Now behind me is the ALNA Casino, which is just on the other side of Oregon and Washington. And we're gonna go in this very special vehicle to the Cedar Creek Grist Mill, mouthful, which Cole, who's behind the camera and who grew up here, tells me is a wonderful place to visit. And along the way, we'll talk about the car that I'm driving, and this is indeed a special car. So Cole, you want to show them what we're taking? Yep, it's the brand new Rolls-Royce Spectre. This is an all-electric Rolls-Royce, two-door. It's as long as a yacht, and this is definitely the Rolls that you want to drive and not be driven in because, well, it's a two-door and it's sporty and it's all electric, and it's very expensive. It starts at about $420,000. And this one, with about $160,000 worth of options, goes up to about $560,000. For instance, this two-tone paint, I'm gonna say that's what, a $25,000 option if I'm right. So yeah, it ain't cheap, but then again, luxury and true luxury comes at a price. And by the way, interesting color combination, chartreuse and I hope I'm saying this right, peony, yeah. Not my choice, but maybe I'm not wealthy enough to understand how these two color combinations work. Now, of course, Rolls-Royce can't be bothered to have you close the door, so all you do is step on the brake and the door closes, which is wonderful, or you hit that little button and my videographer's door also closes. And to start it up, you just hit the start button, and the car is magnificently silent. It is, in fact, well, you'll see, one of the most silent cars I have ever had the pleasure to be in. And I think, look, if you're gonna build the ultimate Rolls-Royce, this would be it. Because from the start, Rolls-Royces have been about really two things: luxury and quiet, because the two go hand in hand. And what's more quiet than an electric powertrain? It certainly isn't the BMW Source 12-cylinder, which, you know, some of the other Rolls-Royces have. It is this powertrain. Now, we're looking at 102, give or take, kilowatt-hour battery, and when fully charged, this car, according to Rolls-Royce, will have a range of about 290 miles, which seems, perfectly adequate. Rolls-Royce will tell you that the people who buy this, if they have to drive farther than across town, are probably going to take a helicopter. I mean, this is not somebody's main form of transportation, but it is the kind of car that if you are taking it across, let's say London or New York or LA, you kind of hope for a traffic jam because it is so incredibly quiet in here and so incredibly luxurious. I mean, when you're in this thing, there is nothing wrong with the world that a lot of money can't solve. Now, it does drive heavy, and that's because it is heavy. I mean, we're talking 6,500 pounds. But then again, Rolls-Royces have always been heavy. This is not, this is kind of the opposite, exact opposite of a Lotus, right? Where you want to add lightness. Here you just add weight because it doesn't really matter that, you know, this thing's heavier than a sperm whale. It just makes the ride that much better. And with electric motors and 577 horsepower and almost 650 pound-foot of torque, it's actually surprisingly quick. So let me kind of just give it a little bit of the beans. 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, according to Rolls-Royce, which is pretty spectacular. Now, let me tell you a little story as we head out on this road trip. I came to Portland, and we're not that far from Portland. We're about half hour south, right? North. Make that north. We're about half hour north of Portland. Thank you, Cole. And I came here for the first time with Jeep about 10 years ago, and I fell in love with this area. I think it's because coming from Colorado everything is just, brown. We live in a high arid desert. Here, everything is just incredibly green. And I'm sure the colors in the fall must be spectacular. I see some leaves are already turning. And so I was just amazed at just how beautiful the weather was. And I came here, must have been in August. So I told my wife, I said, honey, I've never been to a more beautiful place than Cannon Beach in Oregon. Let's go and spend Thanksgiving in Portland and then take a ride down to California to see the sequoia trees along the coast and then come back up through Eugene and just spend a week. And she was like, great, never been to Oregon, love to see it. And what I didn't know at the time, which Cole knows, is this, Cole, right? This is kind of more typical weather. I think you get, 3 months of really beautiful weather in the summer?
3 to 4, yeah.
Yeah, 3 to 4, and then it all turns to this all the time. In fact, when I was here on Thanksgiving, today at least it's warm. By Thanksgiving, it was much colder and raining sideways. So we had one day of no rain, and the rest of it was just absolutely miserable, absolutely wet. And so I'm very thankful that it's just sort of kind of partly cloudy. I think that's fair, wouldn't you say, Cole? But the roads are spectacular. The geography is interesting. I mean, we're close to the Columbia River. If we were going the other direction, we'd be going to the ocean. And I can see why a lot of people came here and just fell in love with it and settled. It certainly is a really cool place to live. And Cole was telling me, who grew up here, that he kind of misses this. For how long do you miss this, Cole, before you get tired of it?
2 days.
2 days. He says he gets 2 days and then it's back to Colorado. So have you been to this mill?
Yes.
He said he's been to this mill. What makes it so special, Cole?
It's just cool.
He says
Along the river.
it's along the river and it's just cool. Is it
Covered
Columbia River?
No.
No, not the Columbia River. That's a big river.
Yeah.
Covered bridge, cool. I wonder if we'll crash into the river with the weight of this car. It's certainly a real possibility. All right, let's kind of get back to some of the other interesting features. There's just, a lot of bespoke parts to this car. So pretty much everything you see here, you could pick in whatever color you want. I suspect in whatever material you want. And you could make it as somber or as loud or as gaudy as you want, because that's what Rolls-Royces are about. And that's I think that's a good thing. I think if you have, let's say, $100 million and life is short, why not spend it on something that rides like a cloud and accelerates like a steam train on steroids? Well, how about this now? Usually when I'm doing these reviews over at TFL Off-Road, I say, let's bring up the music and let's show a little bit of the road. We seem to have gotten stuck behind, one of the peons, a van, sorry. I shouldn't say peon. One of the little people. It just brings out the worst in me. It just does. It's what happens when you're in a Rolls-Royce. I have to fight it. And anyway, let's just show you the road, show you the countryside, and then we'll come back as we get closer to the Old Creek Grist Mill. Did I say that right? Even Cole doesn't know. Oh, Cedar Creek. Cedar Creek Grist Mill. Cedar Creek Grist Mill. Cole, this better be spectacular. I'm gonna have you kicked down to the downstairs or to the back of the Rolls. All right, I'm sure you guys know that BMW owns Rolls-Royce, so I'm thinking there's got to be at least a little bit of the BMW DNA in the driving characteristics of this. So let's give it a little bit of the electrons and see how it does. Well, it's actually really good. suspension is soft without bottoming out, which is nice. The brakes are definitely confidence-inspiring. The steering is a little numb, but nevertheless fairly direct. And the only thing I hear is every so often when I floor the accelerator, the sound of tires and a little bit of electric motor rumble. You know, is this a Miata in these twisties? No, of course it isn't, but it's no slouch. I'm actually quite impressed by how well this vehicle does. It feels big. I think it helps that I drive a lot of trucks because I'm pretty comfortable with wide vehicles. You know, it's hard to forget that for the price of this, you could have, definitely 5 Raptor Rs if you wanted, and probably money left over for a Maverick. But then again, you know, the Raptor R wouldn't be nearly as quiet or nearly as prestigious, right? You show up in this thing and people are going to say, "Who is that person?" And they'll be very disappointed when it's a Z-list YouTube minor celebrity who does car reviews. They'll probably be expecting like one of the Kardashians to come out of this thing. But, you know, if I had $100 million, this would certainly be on my shopping list. And, oh my God, this is a beautiful road. What I love about this part of the world, both Oregon and Washington, is you just have a lot of non-flat, non-straight, non-boring roads. Oftentimes, in my business, when a manufacturer invites you to go review a car in Miami, you know that car probably isn't, I'm going to be kind here, the most dynamic of vehicles because there are really no good roads around Miami. But look at this hill. Oh my God. You can get air coal? 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Oh, sorry. I could hear the aristocrats out there saying, "Roman, you are driving that like an uncouth, uneducated, unworthy, and uninspired chauffeur." And they may be right about that, but it's not often that I get to be. It's not often that I get to be driving in the lap of luxury, which this is. All right, well, let's go back to a little bit more beautiful scenic road, and then I think we're only, let's see how far, 7 minutes. I'm just going to call it the Mill, Cole, because I don't know, Cedar Creek Grist Mill, is that right? Did I get it right that time? I got it right. And I was just going to call it the Mill. Oh my gosh, that is so spectacular. Now, I'm used to the Rocky Mountains in Colorado, but that is quite the view. Thank you, Cole, for bringing me out here. Now, you may be wondering, Roman, how do I get from the casino here to the mill? And the answer is obvious. You have your butler input in the navigation system, or your man or woman servant, or whatever you call your personal assistant, because I suspect that's how I was doing it. Now, here's the crazy thing. Once upon a time, Rolls-Royces were the domain of very rich, very aristocratic, in a lot of cases, very wealthy old people. But now, Rolls has become, maybe because of influencers or YouTube videos, the domain of much younger people. I mean, this is, whoa, there's a car there, sorry. Luckily, I've got plenty of power to move ahead. But I was saying, now these things are kind of the ultimate flex. If you're a Instagram influencer or a TikToker, they're just kind of like a Rolex, right? They're just never go out of style. And the next generation of people, kind of like Harleys, is now looking at the Rolls-Royce as being cool and, like I said, the ultimate flex. For me, a Rolls-Royce, for my generation, was always kind of synonymous with kind of stodgy old rich people. But now, man, these things are pretty, for lack of a better word, bratty. Is that a word you use, Cole? Bratty? You don't use that? Is that what the youngers use? This isn't the brat car? He's laughing at me. I'm trying. I'm really trying, Cole. I need to connect with the younger demographic because you guys got all the money to spend. And YouTube likes that. All right, we're 2 minutes away from the mill, and I'm really hoping that this was well worth the trip. Even if the mill isn't all that spectacular, this road is just phenomenal. And you know, you read about some of the best driving roads in the world, and you're always told that it's, you know, Angeles Crest or someplace in California. I think it's, you know, Oregon, Washington. I wouldn't hesitate to come here in any sports car and just enjoy a beautiful day in the summer, mind you, on the road. All right, we're almost to the mill. I've already forgotten what it's called, Cole, sorry. Oh, here's the covered bridge. Can I take over 3 tons across this thing? Cedar Creek Watershed. It doesn't say. I couldn't, so. Hold on, Cole, we may fall in. No, we didn't fall in, that's good. So 3.5 tons, no problem. I take it this is the mill that we came all the way to see, right? Let's go check her out. All right, park, simple, power, simple. Door should open by itself somehow. And of course, look, Cole, if it's raining, check this out. This is a no-cost option, dude. The Rolls-Royce umbrella, which of course you would probably never use. If you actually own this thing, you'd have servants that would use it for you. So this is really cool. Let's check it out. Wow. Cedar Creek Grist Mill. Is that 1876? Yeah. Yeah, this is, and pray tell, what is grist, Cole?
No idea.
Yeah, he has no idea either. Is it something people ate in 1800s? Like gruel and grist? It doesn't sound very appetizing. Oh, but that is spectacular. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, well worth the trip. Well guys, thank you very much for joining me on this Come Drive With Me. I hope you've enjoyed this format of review. Let me know in the comments if you like it, because if you like it, I'll do more of them. If you won't, I won't do more of them. As always, thank you to the AVAs, the Automotive Video Awards, and Rolls-Royce that allow me to bring this beautiful vehicle to this beautiful spot. And remember, go to alltfl.com for more news, views, and real-world reviews. See you next time. Ciao.